Hey everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today what we're going to do is we're going to get to planting. One of my New Year's resolutions, which I don't make, but one of the things I want to do this year is I got to get back into the garden and start getting things growing again. I've been kind of lazy. It's time to get back to work. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some garlic. Now, it's January 4th, and I have had these garlics in my refrigerator now for several months. Well, probably 2 months, thereabouts, several weeks. All right, and they started to grow, and I kind of wanted to see to make sure that they were actually going to be viable. And this is just garlic I picked up at the store, and you can see almost all of them have sprouted in the fridge. Even this one here, just barely starting to sprout out. But basically that lets me know that these are good viable seeds, which, you know, garlic cloves are just garlic seeds. All right, even got some roots coming out the bottom. So we're going to get all of this planted today here in the garden. Now I'm running probably a little late. It's January the 4th, and I should have gotten this done probably December the 1st. We're going to give it a shot anyway, just to see how it goes. But first, I got to pull some of these weeds out and get this cleared up. So let me get back to you when I get that knocked out. All right, so I got it all weeded out nice and neat. And then what I'm going to do, since I forgot to bring a hammer, is I'm going to take these stakes that I made. I had some mulberry bushes that I cut back. And so I'm just going to use the mulberries as my stakes. All right, so you want to drive them down there a little bit. Tap them in a little bit just so they don't move around too much. All right, about how far away? Yeah, we're gonna go about that far. How about that? One hand. All right, and then we're gonna take this section. Hang on, I gotta get this propped up. These are my collard greens right here. Pretty impressive if I do say so myself. So, and again, we're gonna take it about the same distance. Doesn't have to be accurate. I just want something to guide me, and then I'm going to string it up, and we're going to have I'm going to leave the string there until everything sprouts up, so I know what's what and where it's all at. All right, so let me get back to doing that, and I'll show you when I'm done. All right, so this is my garlic, and you can see in this one in particular, it's really started to grow a lot of the roots on it. So you want to separate them as best you can. Try and get pieces with root. All right, we're going to do this as we go along, but I just wanted to show you we got a sprout coming up and a root going down, and that's what we're looking for. Now once we have that, we're going to come over here. Oh, and I want to show you this little trick. So when you have a round stick, it's better because you can twist the stick to tighten the string. All right, but anyway, so we're going to stick it down. Now you only want it just slightly deeper than the top of the clove itself. And then I'm going to put them about a fist apart. So we're going to start about here. Just going to stick my finger down in the dirt, swirl around a little bit, back the dirt back in, and voila, we have planted a garlic. Now, this garden area here, I have basically, well, I put a lot of compost in it, but I also put a lot of mulch over the top of it. It was all grass clipping mulch, and that grass clipping mulch has been sitting on top of it now for probably a couple months, 2-3 months after I pulled the weeds out. And it has made this soil real nice, light, fluffy soil. Now I know some people will tell you, never disturb your soil. Well, that's not me. That's not how I garden. My soil does get disturbed. Now one of the things I want to tell you, roots don't grow in air, not very well at least. So when you put these down into the spot you want them, you want to stick your finger down in there and kind of press the dirt up against them roots, so the roots got somewhere to go. All right. Sorry about my runny nose right now. It is the winter time. All right. Stick that down in there, crack the dirt in around it, and then we're gonna keep on cruising. So let me get this done. I'll finish up all these, and then I'll show you the end result here in just a little bit. All right, so now let's talk about what type of garlic do I have. I have no earthly idea. I got it at the grocery store. It's a lot cheaper to buy garlic at the grocery store than it is to buy seed garlic. Now, to do this right, what you should do is go out and find the kind of garlic that is best for you in your area. Down here in Northeast Florida, I'll tell you what, I'll put up on the screen what's the best type. I want to say it's soft neck, but I'm not 100%. I want to look at it and make sure I'm telling you right. All right. Now, there's a couple things that garlic does for you. One, it makes your food taste good. But that same pungent aroma and taste that works so good for us does not work well for bugs. So I'm also going to plant some in here. Now, I didn't go through and weed this out like I should have, but I'm going to plant it anyway. Pretty sure it'll grow despite the weeds. So what we're going to do, now I want to show you this too. So when you go to taking these apart and grabbing the ones you want to plant, one, they don't have to be sprouting. Most garlic, unless it's been treated somehow, will grow just fine. All right. Now this is, like I said, just store-bought garlic, and it's sprouted up and looking good. And you don't have to put it in the fridge. I've done this before, not putting it in the fridge, and it's been just fine. But one of the cool things about it, it's a natural bug repellent. Bugs don't like the smell, so they will avoid it. Now, will this keep your garden safe? No, but it will probably help. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and start planting some along here. I've got some beets and I've got some chard in here, and man, the bugs love the chard, so I want to try and protect it best I can. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is by putting pungent smelling herbs and plants around my my choice delectable bug food, so to speak. Because like I said, I happen to know that, man, that bugs will go all over, just tear up the chard, something fierce. And then, how far apart do you plant them? I do a fist. Because I figure if I got a fist here and a fist here, all right, that's plenty of room for that one garlic, oh shoot, not clove, but for the one garlic to actually grow. I don't know why I can't think of that word. Anyway, so I do about a fist apart, and then as far as how far in between the rows, I do a foot. All right. Now, one of my feet is far enough apart to where I can run a hoe through the garden bed and not chop down my vegetables as I go along. So that's one of the reasons why I use my foot. All right. So works out good for me. If you got gigantic feet, you might want to do a little bit less. Now this is, man, I should have counted ahead of time. It's 4 or 5 geez, man, bulbs of garlic, and I will tell you in just a minute about how many I think I'll have. Oh, one other thing. So if you're planting the ones that have not started to sprout yet, like this one, what you're looking for is the pointy end. Now, when you pick up your bulb of garlic, all right, you're going to have the root end and the top end. All right, the top end has to go up. You plant them upside down, they won't grow. They'll rot. Second thing is, don't take the paper off. Now, you can take the paper off the outside of the bulb, but when it comes to the cloves, the individual pieces, even though you would cook, when you're cooking, you would go ahead and strip all that paper off. You want to leave the paper on when you plant it. All right, and then of course this bottom end, the root, the old root, can come off as well. And then I just separate them like so, and just leave the paper on, stick them in the ground. That paper will rot down and become fertilizer. All right, so let me go count real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so I think I had 5 bulbs of garlic. And if my calculations are correct, I should get somewhere around 75 or so bulbs of garlic from those 5 bulbs. All right, because each, on average, there's something like 12 cloves in a bulb. All right. Now I might be off on that a little bit. Don't quote me, but that's about what I'll get. Now, assuming half of those grow, I should still end up with what, 36? 3 dozen garlics, plus or minus a few. And that's if everything grows, or if only half of them actually grow. Now, I planted a bunch last year, but I failed to harvest them when I should have, and so I got 0. But all I'm out is the cost of that many garlics. Now, one of the things I do want you to keep in mind with garlic or anything else, when it comes time to plant, people think, man, it is so hard to get things to grow. I got news for you, man. Yeah, it can be sometimes, but for the most part, garlic and everything else wants to grow. The whole mission in life for plants and animals is to reproduce. All right? And they can't reproduce if they don't grow. So they want to grow. You just got to allow them to do it. Now, what's the best way to go about allowing them to do it? Well, having good loamy soil is a good idea. 2, you got to keep them watered. You got to keep water on the plants or they're just not going to grow. And then 3, come out and pull some weeds every once in a while. Now, is pulling the weeds absolutely mandatory? No, it's probably not. You can get by without pulling the weeds to a certain extent, but they will grow better, in my opinion, if they don't have to compete with the weeds. All right? So I'm going to leave you with that. Basically, once again, to summarize it real quickly, I bought a whole bunch of garlic at the store. I let it sit in my fridge for a few weeks, pulled it out when it started to sprout, and now I'm sticking it in the ground, and hopefully in a few months I'll have garlic. All right, thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, give me a like and subscribe if you like what you saw. Comment if you have better ideas or you know something I don't know, then by all means say something. I love having an interaction with people who've watched my videos and want to tell me something new that I don't know. All right, I'm always willing to learn. But lastly, grow something. Get something growing in your yard. All right, you'd be amazed what you can make grow. All right, thanks once again. Y'all come back and see me.